Hey, what's up, guys? This is Anthony Anthem, a.k.a. Black Fabio, a.k.a. the Midnight Marauder, a.k.a. the Hot Knicks, a.k.a. the next Will Smith, a.k.a. the gift with the shift, making sure to uplift and blazing like a spliff. And this is the Delivery Bros. We also have our wonderful co-host of the night, wonderful, young, wholesome.
Yo, I'm
just playing.
Motherfucking Maki, goddammit. I'm motherfucking Maki. That's my new coin. Motherfucking Maki. I say it all the time. I'm saying it on the podcast. And I'm here with my absolute better half, my wife, the one and only Hershey Kiss.
Dear Jesus.
That's my Hershey Kiss, a.k.a. my queen.
A.k.a. brown sugar.
No, they don't. That's a whole nother lifestyle they don't need to know about. Anyway, my better half.
Teri.
Hi, Teri.
You so quiet.
Am I quiet? Can you hear me on here? Is it coming up better? Like I noticed last time I was pretty quiet.
You were stupid quiet.
Yeah,
I'm sorry,
speaking to the mic a little bit
really.
more.
You gotta like.
Can you hear me better now?
Yes.
Okay, I will try and elevate
Beautiful.
right there.
Yeah.
The elevate right. Vocal cords.
This is gonna be a long podcast.
No, it is not, man. We having a. It's actually. I've got energy.
Yeah, for once.
Yeah, because like the last 3 times I've been like
Dead.
knocked. Terry took over my whole damn segment.
It was a good thing. It probably was the best.
Why are you looking off in the distance like you didn't do anything, woman?
It wasn't me.
It was all you. Sugar.
So the next episode of Couples Counseling.
Next episode of Couples Counseling. Oh, man. So what's kicking off, yo? What is kicking off today?
Okay, first of all, one thing that I want to kick off is Donald Trump off a cliff, but that's the usual.
Donald Trump. What?
Donald Trump
Off a cliff.
Oh,
Yes.
what's kicking off? Donald Trump off a cliff. See, that lets you know I'm...
That's why they call him cliffhanger.
No. Can't hold on
Dear Jesus.
much longer. And that's why he's called cliffhanger. I should be on radio.
I give this woman a microphone. And this is... We're only in minute 2 of this shit.
But you told me it was a comedy podcast and I would be great on it by just being myself, so I did so.
I know. See, this is when your words can get you in trouble, ladies and gentlemen. Always remember that.
Look, if you don't love your work, you won't work.
See, I was thinking about making a wholesome broadcast today, and really, What are y'all looking at me like that?
What the hell was that? Why did you tap me?
Why are y'all looking at me?
What the hell was that? I was trying to figure out what's going on. She's like,
Oh my God.
She's over here deadlocking you and then just goes, like, what was that?
I'm sitting here
I'm trying to figure out.
I couldn't even hold my composure.
Okay.
I couldn't hold my
I was
composure.
gonna let him finish his thought, and I saw that you were gonna interrupt. So
That was interesting.
I didn't get that one that time.
I didn't get that.
Normally she does this to give me information.
I'm just like, okay.
I didn't catch that at all. I actually wasn't gonna interrupt. Thank you.
Damn
Damn
it.
it.
I'm sitting. I just.
What are we, like 2 minutes into the podcast?
They're gonna
Shit
think
is
we
always
stoned.
already going
They
down.
probably think we're stoned as fuck right now.
Well, I might
it's
be.
a great,
I am.
Okay, first of all,
I will be.
you know what?
By the end of this podcast. I had a partial of a brownie.
Oh, dear God. Oh, my gosh. I remember when I ate the same brownie from the same guy. 2 days I was stoned. There is no way anybody should be stoned for 2 days.
I mean, hey, man. Get it how you live.
And then while you guys are getting stoned, I discovered at work what cottonmouth meant.
Yes. Okay, so let's get the funniness out of the way.
With just dry mouth. I was always told it just means that you have a dry mouth. So I'm sitting in my line as usual.
Oh, dear God.
And I'm like, man, I have cotton mouth. And everybody's just looking at me And a couple people are cracking up, and I'm just like, I say this all the time. And my associate's like, you can't say that. And I'm like, why? I just need water. What's wrong with water? And she's like, because, it's not professional to say you have cotton mouth at work. For real. Drug test.
With the eyes. Drug test. Synthetic pee.
Right? And I'm like, why would I need to get drug tested for dry mouth? What?
So, guys, for those who don't know who a cottonmouth is, it's a term for
dry mouth after you hit the devil's grass.
Or
a few times.
Or
eating edible.
Or ganja.
Or what?
The devil's lettuce.
I already said the devil's lettuce. You
said the devil's grass. Wacky tobacco.
Wacky backy, man. Why do you mainlanders say wacky tobacco?
Let's see.
Because we're associating it with the tobacco leaf.
No, yes. Fuck that. What wacky tobacco? No, it's wacky backy.
Those marijuana cigarettes.
Who the hell is a wacky backy? That's
weed.
Well, are you talking about a wombat or are you talking about weed?
Reefer.
Do I look like I'm from Australia to you?
I'm just sorry if somebody said.
Okay, wait. Okay,
Let's
so for reference
Reefer,
for everybody who's listening,
that Doja,
whoever's listening, I'm a very
that Waka Flocka Flame.
Hey, by the way, why the hell?
No.
Why wasn't my the last one we did? You didn't have my thumbnail up there.
I did too.
People gotta know what I look like. I'm handsome.
Thumbnail up there, folks.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
There was one of them I was on there.
I put it out on Friday.
Yeah. No. There was one I was on there as a feature, and you didn't have my goddamn thumbnail up there.
I did too have your thumbnail up there with your big head.
I can pull it up with Spotify.
Fine. Put it up.
Oh, okay.
Because it's probably because I didn't update the freaking image yet. I forgot to.
They can't see this.
You? What?
What the?
Anyway, okay. So,
yes.
We have an hour, and I don't want to be depressed when I go to bed.
Why would you be depressed when you're going to bed?
Because we have a very serious topic to talk about.
Okay,
and I kind of not want to get it out the way, but I want to put it out there, and then we can continue.
Okay,
you know what I'm saying?
So it all started when I was in Scout camp, and Scoutmaster Jim invited me into his tent.
Dude, we all know about you and Scoutmaster Jim and in the tent. We ain't talking about that.
Oh, okay.
We're talking. Oh, Jesus Christ!
I was never in Boy Scouts, guys.
Oh my God. We're talking about a very, very serious topic, and I guess we should put a disclaimer out almost.
Especially after that 13 Reasons Why shit.
Yeah, okay, so disclaimer, these are very serious topics, and if you can be affected, I don't like the word triggered, so if you can be affected by the topics of drugs and or mental disorder, I advise you to turn off the podcast now.
Yeah. So me and DeLorna touched on this topic way back when we first started this podcast, but I think it's something that we need to bring up now, especially with all the situations that are going on.
And the black community.
In the black community, the shooting that happened today.
Shooting?
Yeah, there was a shooting at the University of North Carolina.
Oh, yeah, I saw that. UNC.
Yeah.
I did. I saw that. It came up on my phone.
Talk about that, and then
it was active when I saw it. It was active. It was still going on. The shooter left 2 dead when I saw it.
2 dead, 4 injured.
Jesus, man.
Yeah. If I'm correct, I think they were fatally injured too.
Fatally? Well, fatally injured as in critical condition.
Yeah. So we're gonna see what happens in the next 24 to 36 hours.
Well, I'm hoping,
Hoping for the best.
Hey, man, I'm hoping for the best. That's school shooting mess. But seriously, though.
And everybody, what's fucked up? It wasn't even just everybody was just shocked. Everybody was just like, damn, again? It's
again. It's 2019 and we still haven't gotten this shooter bullshit,
This is the most shootings I've ever seen in my lifetime.
I mean, you gotta, you can't just assume that, a shooting is just a random act. It's not a random act, man.
Why would you ever assume it's a random act?
Well, I mean, people just don't. People don't consider. You know what I'm saying? Which is the whole topic of discussion. If somebody is dealing with something mentally,
Mm-hmm.
that can cause that. I mean,
I get that. I'm from the generation where it didn't happen, and then I'm from the generation where Columbine, like that
was the one. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
I remember
I'm
when
from
Columbine
the
happened.
side
I
of
was in
the,
5th grade.
and you keep saying generation like we got 100 years difference here, wife. But
Lord Jesus.
you know, I'm from the side of, you know, I grew up in the time where you know, when I like the first shooting that I had to deal with was War Parkway, the War Parkway active shooter.
Oh my God.
You know what I'm saying? And nobody, and to my knowledge, nobody was killed in that shooting. And you know, let me say no disrespect to if you did have family members that were killed during that shooting. I don't mean to invalidate your grief. I'm saying to my knowledge, and if I'm wrong, then please let us know. But you know, this is an every other day fucking occurrence.
It seems
For
like
me,
it.
you know, it's a fucking thing, and nobody wants to address. And then, you know, the big argument is, you know, well, it's a mental disorder, and that shouldn't cause that, and this, that, and the other. And it's like, well, no, a mental disorder will seriously cause that. The whole thing with mental disorders or, you know, problems is that they're either going to harm themselves or someone else. That's the ultimate thing. That is the ultimate scare, is that they're going to hurt themselves or someone else. And that should be something that I feel like should really be pushed.
I will say this, like, it's just getting to the point where people are so numb from it now. It's almost like it's a regular occurrence. Like,
oh, another shooting.
I know, like, it's just like that. But it's just like, I'm not going to sit here in front, like, it's fucked up when it happens and then it becomes a national thing. And then you got to realize there are people in regular ass neighborhoods, like,
getting shot up all the time.
Yeah. And
legitimately down the street.
We've had, 6 or 7 in the last couple months?
No, not 6 or 7, just one.
There's 2 over there, one on
Nobody was injured, but I'm saying there are people popping off every other day.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
No. Oh, you just talking about just people popping off.
People popping off.
Yeah, like they do it for fun over here.
In our immediate effect, it's been about 3 or 4.
I mean, my brother was shot because of my brother was shot and killed along with his girlfriend, I believe. His girlfriend and her son. Shot and killed, 2015. R.I.P. Shannon.
Wouldn't that be...
No, that's a mental disorder. Because
I understand that, but I'm just saying that was also classified more as a domestic.
It was, yes, it was classified as it could be considered a domestic thing, but that's also still he has an issue.
I get that. I'm just saying that, you know, if we were going to address that, you have to consider that there is a great deal of gun-wounded violence associated with domestic violence.
Yeah.
So I was just saying, like, that's a whole...
I mean, there are many, I get what you're saying. There are many denominations of the same thing. But I feel like they all link into having a mental issue that nobody is addressing, especially in the dadgum black community. Because the first thing that black folks like to say is, well, how many black folks do you see shooting up schools? Well, I don't see a whole lot of black folks shooting up schools.
But they shooting up neighborhoods.
But I do see them doing a bunch of drive-bys. I do see them committing suicide. That is an issue for me.
And the suicide rate has gotten higher.
Like, I mean, you can't just say, oh, well, you know, nobody's shooting up a school. It's all the white kids with their mental issues. No. Because in the black community, your mental issues cause shootings on the drive-by. Your mental issues cause gang violence. Your mental issues cause people to get strung out on shit. There's
self-medication.
Other ways that self-medicating. Okay, I'm all for the green ganja. That's a whole nother situation. But when black folks start getting up on coke and PCP and all this other shit, you tweak it.
Well, it's self-medicating, and that's also that's a symptom of mental disorders, self-medicating.
Absolutely.
It's unfortunate, but we all know that mental health is not addressed in the Black community, and there are reasons for that. I mean, historically, the help was not there. It has not been addressed.
Historically, yes, you are right. But my thing is the stigma.
Historically, it has been proven that African Americans and other people of color have been experimented on in these factions and forms.
So are you saying that the experimentation caused some of the mental disorders? Like they stemmed from the experimentation?
No, I'm saying the experimentation caused stigma.
No, I'm saying I heard that theory. Like I heard that theory. Like Black folks didn't.
Why can I not say this word? Tuskegee.
Oh, the Tuskegee Army?
No, experiments. I don't believe that caused lasting mental. I mean, I'm sure there was after effects of mental, crisis. However, I don't think it was something that would have been like, oh yeah, this is gonna affect, the bloodline. I think it was a literal stigmatism. It was like, hey, we're finding out that they're doing these things, that it's happening. No, we don't trust it. So we're not going to trust your psychology. We're not going to trust your therapy. We're not going to trust your medication.
So
because
then,
you have a history of treating us like guinea pigs.
And this is where I feel like more Black folks need to go into that kind of stuff. Do you get what I'm saying? Because you're going to talk with who you identify with. You get what I'm saying? Like when you go to get help, you going to talk with who you identify with. I personally don't talk to a straight therapist. I will not do it.
Okay.
I won't talk to a straight therapist because they don't.
They don't understand.
They can
your
only
orientation.
understand so far. You get what I'm saying?
I get
So
you.
I feel like Black folks. That's why I'm like Black folks need to go and be go to school for psychology. And then the other thing that I noticed is that psychology is one of those degrees that you get that you supposedly, air quoting over here, can't do anything with. Like it's one of those base degrees, like business management. Do you get what I'm saying? The two things.
I guess that's a perception.
Well, I will say this. A lot of it is these programs are underfunded. So, yeah, there's a lack of jobs when it comes to
but I'm
mental
saying,
analysts
like,
and stuff.
them two degrees, business management and psychology, in the Black community could uprise. You get what I'm saying? Them two alone. Business management, learning how to... I wish I would have gone for business management. I wish I would have actually stayed in college and actually went for business management. Because after getting out of that, I could have still had time to go to Job Corps. Let's just say everything progressed the way that it did. You know what I'm saying? I could have still gone to Job Corps, opened my own business in 2 to 5 years.
I will say this.
I mean, I can, but I mean, having that extra backing of knowing how?
But that's just it. I mean, most of the stuff you can figure out on the internet.
I mean, yes, but I'm
just saying. I mean, to be quite honest, a diploma these days is not worth anything. To be quite honest, it's a sheet of paper after putting yourself in thousands of dollars of debt.
At first, I remember it was if you don't do, like when I was, 5 or 6 maybe? It was you get your high school diploma, and if you don't do nothing else, you get that high school diploma. By the time I had high school, it was you get a college degree. If you don't do nothing else, you get a 4-year bachelor's in something.
Or get a trade. And to be quite honest...
trade was not pushed for me.
Well, in this day and age, a trade is actually something formidable. And a lot of people don't understand that. We're in the age of trade.
Excuse me.
Now, I am going to say this, though, back to the mental health conversation, is, there's a lot of communities that don't do it. The Hispanic community is just as bad with it. Some of the Asian community, a lot of low-income white people as well. We can go down the list. When it comes down to it, America as a whole has a problem with not observing the mental health problems that we have in America. I mean, you look at countries in Europe or whatever, they'll give you mental health days. Some companies will provide you a counselor.
There's only been 2 that I've seen in my lifetime that actually do. One is the IRS, ironically.
Yeah.
And the second is Costco.
Yeah.
Them the only 2.
And that's what I'm saying. If you go to another country in Europe, you go to Finland or something like that, they will provide it for you.
Is it Newfoundland?
No, it's Finland. Like for real, like literally, they like a lot of these companies. Like they will have a psychologist sit with you a couple times a week if you need it, funded by the company because they want their workers to be healthy in all sources. And I see that with them. I see that with Germany. Cause
I find it really interesting that we're not pushing for mental health.
Well, you got to realize we're a capitalist nation. The only thing we really worry about is military and prisons.
Yeah.
Well, that's because you make it a profit. That was our biggest.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry. That's not our biggest, but that's one of our downfalls as a country. Is that we made it profitable to do heinous things. I mean, it's profitable to be poor. It's profitable to be a criminal.
Yeah.
It's profitable to be sick.
Yeah.
Big pharma. I mean, why would we
Big
want
pharma? Motherfucking that plays into that's what I'm saying. Like that's exact. I agree.
Let me give you. Here's a good example. Like for instance, you got to think about prohibition. Prohibition, like with alcohol, they realized, okay, you know what, we were making money off alcohol. Let's bring this back. But then here we are now in 2019.
Alcoholism.
Yeah, but then but it works though. It keeps people addicted. It keeps people wanting to drink more.
Yeah, and then it's. I just find it so interesting that we're not pushing for this stuff because when you think about it, right? When you think about the human body, let's just think about it from a physical standpoint, right? We know that the brain affects everything in the body, right? Mm-hmm. It literally is the power for the body. Once it shuts down, everything else shuts down. You get what I'm saying? Your heart can shut down, your brain still be okay. For a certain amount of time, because it's got to have blood. You know what I'm saying? So, there's neuro, right? Which is associated with the brain, health and function, right? And then there's mental. There's only two kinds of things that are associated with the powerhouse of the whole body. And we want to push for the whole, get, obesity thing and get healthy and all that, right? But mental health also affects that. When you get depressed, there are things that you don't do, like eat, drink. Or you overeat. Right, but this is what I'm saying.
I mean, food is almost an addiction in itself.
Right, but this is what I'm saying. You doing all of this, right? And it's all affected by the what? It's all controlled by the brain. Mm-hmm. And there's only neuro and mental, health-wise. So if you want to talk about any of it, you got to realize that the brain in and of itself, if you're not feeding your brain, you're not feeding yourself. You're not feeding the brain, you're not feeding yourself. You get depressed, you don't bathe. You get depressed, you don't eat. Or you overeat. And you gluttonize, which ain't healthy. You know what I'm saying? But after all of that, you pushing for the physical, push for the mental. Because the mental is what controls the physical.
I get that. And I also believe in childhood PTSD affecting adulthood decisions.
It's affected me.
100%.
Oh my God.
That's where I get back to, people of color, disenfranchised, marginalized people suffering from traumatic and crisis-driven
100%. Just growing up black is PTSD, damn it.
Shit, even in the suburbs.
Growing up fucking black. I'm sorry, babe.
Said growing up people of color.
No, I know. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. That's what I thought about.
That's what I'm saying. It's traumatic and it's crisis driven just there. And the effects mentally, I mean, like you said, just going back to you, where chemicals are made and produced, I mean, it's just a different set of chemicals when you're in a traumatic situation. And unfortunately, I truly believe that sometimes your brain will program itself to seek those chemicals as a means of survival.
It's all survival. The brain is designed to keep the body alive. You get what I'm saying? Dude, when we say things are like deeply programmed, the whole term deeply programmed, that's really a thing. I don't care what anybody says. That's really a thing.
Okay, but
look at a dog.
I want to be very careful of going down the Pavlovian idealism, because the Pavlovian idealism can also be a double-edged sword as an excuse to why the extermination of an entire culture is necessary.
Terry, can you, like, back up and say that in dum-dum terms for me? Pavlovian what now?
Oh,
okay.
Lord Jesus.
Hold on. I'm sorry.
I told you my baby woke.
You know what?
I think what I'm trying to say is that
This is why I don't discuss these topics. I feel stupid.
when
She
you
starts
make
breaking out Pavlovian.
when you make an idealism for a certain group of people,
Yeah.
you justify stereotypes and prejudice.
Okay.
Better?
Thank you.
Indeed.
Okay, because I was like, yep, I am tuned out. I have no idea what the hell you just said to me.
I am going to say this, like, we're at a point in time where we, as the newer generation, need to observe this more.
Oh, you mean you're not going to say it's the end of days? Thank you.
Fuck no, it ain't the end of days.
Dude, at the end of days was supposed to happen in 2012. You motherfuckers had me shook.
You
That's
actually,
not the point. Nobody
you actually believed in the Mayan calendar.
Hey, I was young and in high school.
No, I'm just pointing out the
It
fact
was- I
that
didn't-
it's always up to three things. It's the end of days.
Oh,
so we're living in our darkest
So the
days.
goddamn Christians can... Oh, Jesus.
That's usually the
And
Don't get me
the other one
started
is-
on that.
Yeah, which is also associated with there's just not enough God.
Which is also Christian.
So, pray about it more. But, I mean, I'm just stating the fact that, Christian...
There's more to it. Even God would tell us to be more
What
proactive.
happened? What happened to government and religion being separate? What happened to that?
Okay.
It never existed.
It never existed
was.
because
It wasn't
they
supposed
built
to be.
it.
It's
I mean, all of the
I'm-
freaking
I'm-
laws and stuff.
I'm gonna
are
say
built
this.
off of the Ten Commandments.
I'm going to say this. Look, God can only help us so much from a distance. If you believe in God. I believe in God. But, like, He also told us we got to do for ourselves if you want to get biblical with it. That's what I'm just saying. We got to be proactive. So it's like, it's more than, pray about it. I know the old school says that a lot. My mom says that. You know what? And prayer does help a lot. But at the same time, if you don't get out there and do it for yourself, then you're never going to get anywhere. And this is a wake-up call for not just the black community, but America in general.
Get with the mental health program.
I mean, seriously.
I mean, for real. I'm just going to put it bluntly.
They're underpaid.
Fuck you if you don't believe in mental health.
They're underpaid, overworked.
Which causes more mental health issues with them,
Under-
the people that can actually help you.
Understaffed.
Jesus.
And just everything. When it comes down to it, I can tell you right now, I'm in a program right now that's so understaffed, I can't see my counselor for 2 months.
Is it Rediscover?
No, it's Truman Behavioral Health.
Oh, well, that explains a lot because it's Truman.
That's just
It's
it.
Truman. It's minority based.
I mean, when it comes down to it, there's a lot of these
Or am
programs.
I wrong? Is that Truman?
I don't know.
Because I was doing...
Truman Research, KU, they have wonderful mental...
Yes, but KU is white privileged funded, for one. Research bought out. Truman is the only original one.
I don't know what you mean by that.
Okay, so KU was started with white folks.
So is Truman.
Yeah.
No,
I mean, come on, it's a white man on the name of the title.
I mean,
yeah, but
they haven't torn down their black hospital yet.
But
I don't
that's
know
what-
why we haven't made that an historic, landmark.
Oh, you talking about
Because
that?
it's in
Oh, yeah,
news.
near Hospital Hill. That one over there?
It's right across the street from Truman.
Yeah, I know exactly what
Oh,
you're talking
that
about.
one. What?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the black hospital.
Yeah, that's a black hospital. It's like near Crossroads and all that. Yeah.
Near Crossroads. Is it near Crossroads?
Yeah.
It's just right there next to
Yeah,
Truman.
that abandoned building over there.
Unaware
Yeah,
that
it's
it
the, okay,
exists.
so you got Children's Mercy, you got Truman, and the little abandoned
Yeah.
building right there. That's
Yeah.
the
It's
black hospital.
abandoned?
It's been abandoned for years.
It's been abandoned since like the 50s, 60s or something like that.
Oh,
But it's not a
see.
historical site. I mean,
See.
that would be,
Even though it should be.
it should be a historical site.
I mean, there's a lot of sites that should be historical that aren't.
See,
The old Negro Leagues Baseball Museum.
not. I know that. No, it's not.
Yeah,
It's
the old one isn't. The new one, yeah.
The new one where the old one where Satchel Paige was originally featured is not. The new one where people started like, hey, yo, we should open this. Which, why the fuck would you open a new one when you got a whole one? See, that's that shit.
They didn't want to renovate it.
That's that shit.
See, that's the problem with American culture too. Is we like to,
and it's not even it's like paying respect.
Girl, can I at least finish what I was gonna say?
I'm sorry.
That's why I tapped you
I'm
earlier.
sorry.
Jeez Louise,
thinking.
woman.
I'm sorry. I'm just thinking. I'm sorry.
Good grief, a man can't have a thought. Gosh. Okay, what was I saying? So, anyways, I'm just giving you shit. Anyways, so basically, it's our problem with American society is we like to build, tear down, build, burn it down, build, tear it down again. We don't keep anything, preserve anything. That's one of our biggest problems. Like, you go to another country, like, you and I both know this, Terry. Like, you go to Germany, you gotta have that house last for centuries. And you build a house.
That's true.
Very true. I mean, shoot, my friend's neighborhood had 500 to 800 to 1,000-year-old houses that have been around since the dawn of time, practically. Like, they still have pieces of the old castle in this town. They still got, like, artifacts.
Did you ever think that maybe America's desire to tear down could also be associated with the fact that America hates to look at its history?
Always.
100%.
But that's just it, though. They'll keep plantations and shit. Like, I can go, go to Independence.
God. Most vineyards are
That
plantations,
would be
by the way.
equivalent to the fact that America boasts about their,
Redemption.
mistakes.
Shit. It don't seem like it's a fucking...
I mean, like, we hate to look at... I say we as if I represent America. It's like hating to look at how you permanently scarred your face through plastic surgery, but bragging about how much it costs to do it. I feel like that would be the equivalent to what it's
That is probably
like we hate
the
to look
best
back on the
analogy
history
I've ever
and
heard
see
in my life.
the horrible things that America has done to people and to communities and cultures and nature, but we're the biggest and the baddest. So watch me put the biggest building right here. I mean,
in the middle of the black neighborhood.
yeah, in the middle.
That doesn't actually.
I mean, but do we really reflect on it like we need to? Because we don't. Like, you go to Germany, like, all students got to go to Auschwitz at least once.
Okay, but I told you this in a previous podcast. Like, one of my German neighbors said, one of the saddest things she found about America was the fact that they glorified and bragged about the horrible things that they did, as if it was a good thing.
Always.
Germany growing up in Germany, we all knew about the Holocaust. We didn't brag or laugh or looked at the Holocaust as something that was... It was a horrible experience for everybody. Mm-hmm. And yes, there were those who were benefiting and privileged, but there were so many who died and suffered. And it was horrible. And that was a point to look back and say, don't do this. Don't allow this to happen again. And America refuses to do that. We repeat our history over and over again, and it's almost like America is proud to do that.
They're literally proud to be insane.
You know what's messed up is, like, even South Africa, and South Africa got a lot of issues. They even reflected on apartheid.
Yeah, they did. They sat back.
They actually sat down, literally had a discussion, like in this major building or whatever. Like, people sat down and discussed right after the apartheid and had a conversation. They realized, okay, they're not going to agree on everything, but they had the conversation on it. And they recognized it. They recognized the fact that they did Nelson Mandela wrong. They recognized the fact of a lot of things that went on in that country. And South Africa is not perfect by any means whatsoever. But
with saying that, I wanted to point out that I thought it was absolutely beautiful what California did for Nipsey Hussle. And I'm not referring to the whole police, the police thing that I heard about. I'm talking about, how California recognized Nipsey Hussle, and as a state, they made it a point to speak highly of what he had done and the positive impact that he had. I felt that was amazing.
And we need more people like that. A lot of these rappers be talking about, I put on for my city. Motherfucker, what you doing for your city? Not a goddamn thing. I see a lot of these guys that are active, but I see a lot of these guys that just talk a lot of shit.
Floyd
It's like,
Mayweather.
look at my money, look at my clothes, blah, 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 blah. Like, okay, motherfucker, what you doing for the community since you're getting money off of us? Not a motherfucking thing.
Absolutely.
That's why, like, that's my problem with the new generation of rappers. It isn't the music, really. It's the attitudes. It's the attitudes of they're entitled to shit. They're entitled to acting a certain way, and I ain't gonna lie, it's the age of social media. And to be quite honest, that also affects problems with people's mental health as well. I mean, did you see that video of that girl that was crying because her Instagram got deleted or something like that?
Yep.
No, I didn't see that.
Yep.
I'm not on social media that much.
Okay, so this girl was flipping out because she was like a Instagram influencer or something like that, or a model or something like that on Instagram, and her photos got deleted. Not her photos, her account got deleted for some reason. I don't know. It was because of somebody put like spam or something like that or whatever, and she lost like, I don't know, like 50K followers or something like that. It was like a lot of followers. And she's sitting there like just bawling her eyes out. Talk about, why did you guys do this to me? This is how I make money. This is how I eat. This is how I pay rent and stuff like that. And I'm just like, okay, you could probably gain your following back and you just make another account. And then on top of that, like, it's not the end of the world. It's social media. Like, people get so obsessed with social media. Like, you find everything on social media, and it's to the point where it's almost like, damn, you know, the internet has its good, but then it also has its evils, and I think that also affects a lot of people's mental health. Like, people are not observant of their surroundings anymore. Like, I can even say that as a person that has to promote this podcast or whatever. Like, sometimes I gotta step back and be like, well, I'm not even observant of what the fuck's going on in my life right now. So, I think that's a big mental effect that a lot of us don't observe. And it's becoming an illness. It's almost like we're almost attached to this thing. It's getting to the point where like technology is just going to be wired into our brains like some Skynet shit or something. Eventually. The way we're just kind of heading. I don't know. It's just the world we're living in right now. I feel like all of this right now is a little bit of drama, a little bit of social media. Mixture into like this poison and cyanide filled cocktail. And we gotta stop drinking the damn Kool-Aid all the fucking time. And realize there's more to it than fame and all this other shit that we kind of idolize more than most countries. I don't know. It's either fame, drugs, alcohol. What is the newest trend? How can I look a certain way? Whatever.
But you say that, but your eyebrows are like perfect.
Oh my Lord Jesus. Okay, first of all, my eyebrows are fuzzy caterpillars.
It's the end thing right now. Fuzzy caterpillars. Look it up.
Okay, first of all, I don't follow trends because one, I am poor. I cannot follow trends that are supposed to be high profile because more than likely it's going to be $180 for a shirt. Fuck
Wave
that.
check.
It was just like, okay, yeah.
Why are you on a screen? He just did you not hear him rant?
Yes.
Yes.
About the whole screen, and then you get on a screen.
But I'm not on a screen that's like social media.
And here we go. So
this is actually considered a puzzle game, which stimulates the brain.
That doesn't
she's playing a
stimulate
puzzle
the brain.
game
It
right in
does
the middle of the
stimulate the brain.
podcast. Really, woman?
Really?
Okay, we're
look.
sitting here, we're getting all serious
I'm
and
in
having
the
a
serious.
deep conversation,
I'm with it.
and you're playing a damn puzzle game.
Yep.
Is it Tetris?
No,
it's
it's
Toon Blast.
It's motherfucking Toon Blast. Really? We're playing some motherfucking Toon Blast.
because
Maki, how old are you?
I am
4. Anyways, your shoe size. You know your fucking shoe size right now.
Okay. But tell everybody about the pie.
Okay.
That's his job.
You know
Tell
what?
you
So
about
since Teri's gonna go ahead and plug her pie, I had some pie before the podcast, and that shit was amazing.
And that shit was amazing.
It was fucking
He
amazing.
said it was made out of love.
It definitely was mad love. She like tooting her own horn about this pie because she knows it was damn good. And I ain't gonna lie, it was a damn good pie. And I don't eat everybody's pie.
I don't eat everybody's pie.
I mean, you gotta be careful eating everybody's pie. No, wait a minute. Oh
I got you to say it. I did.
Oh my god. See, this is what happens when I get with these two. Every time, nothing but debauchery. This is nothing but debauchery every time I come on this podcast with them. No. Hey, Anthony, let's do a podcast. It'll be fun, they said. It'll be great, they said. We can make it informational, they said.
Have some of my pie.
They said. And here we are now.
They said.
Oh my god. So, okay. So off the serious topic for a moment because I need to take a break from that shit. I know everybody's like, damn, that was more depressing than 13 Reasons. Believe me.
Believe me.
That fuck, man, they're making a third season of that shit.
What? They're on season number 3?
They're on season. You know what's fucked up too? What I found out? All right, I'm going to say this one last depressing ass fact. The suicide rate went up 50% after 13 Reasons Why it debuted.
You got to be kidding me.
50%.
Really did?
Yeah, in the month of, what was it, like April or May of 2 years ago? 50%. They've been having a lot of problems with that.
Well, you would think that they would
horrible.
stop.
Yeah.
No, of course they won't stop.
I mean, it's about as bad as Big Mouth. Fucking Big Mouth. They got in trouble with child pornography and still did.
Okay, Big Mouth is pretty fucked up.
I mean,
it's true stuff, but at the same time,
understatement.
I mean, I ain't gonna lie. Like some of that shit is really true in a lot of people's lives, but at the same time, yeah, they kind of went far.
Really far.
I guess there's a really thin line between funny and truth.
It was like lolicon porn for Americans.
It was fucking ridiculous. It still is fucking ridiculous.
Well, you guys have that. I have some books. I can talk about some books.
She's gonna talk about books.
And the plug
So
for the books
No,
returns.
she's not. I was just saying I have books. Like if we wanted to talk about books, I found Freak
Like
the Mighty.
if we wanted to
what?
talk about the books.
Freak the Mighty.
What's a Freak of Mighty?
I think
Freak the Mighty. You don't know
name.
that. You don't know that. Freak the Mighty, man. For real?
No, actually, not a lot of people read it.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought that was like a household, thing. You know what I'm
No, it
saying?
wasn't a household thing at all.
No, because I don't know about this shit in my household.
I read it in school.
Okay, so
Why are you looking at me like that?
what is with the
That looks
judgments?
so aggressive right now.
Yeah, why are you looking so aggressive?
Thank you. What are you looking
Freaking
at me
Polynesians.
Look, don't hate because my eyebrows on
You bring Polynesians to the party and they just gotta look all hard and
You know
aggressive.
what? I'm about sick of you and these Polynesian bullshit ass shots fired.
Every time you go and hang out at a poly party or something like that, there's always that one.
Did he just say poly party?
Yes.
Oh, bro,
He
you.
was talking about his 5 friends here.
Oh, bro. Oh,
Yes,
bro.
it's
He
like-
said poly party.
You go to a poly party, there's always that one
Oh, bro.
or two people that's like sitting there in the corner of the
No,
party,
you didn't. Just
mean
say
mugging the shit
poly
out of
party.
you because you are
You
not
said
poly.
I'm going to get my damn Alfredo.
It's like getting like the shit. I mean, like two Polynesian dudes or girls looking at you from the other side of the room, judging the fuck out of you,
Why
especially
did you steal my seat?
especially when
Get out of my seat.
you're not even poly. You're not poly at all. So they're like, what the fuck is this nigga doing here? And you just trying to have a good time and eat some food and hang out with the bros or whatever. And they just sitting there staring you down at the same time. That's how aggressive she was looking up at Teri.
She really did. Most
I
of
mean-
the time, she looks at me like a snack.
Sit there. I'm too fat
I
for
mean,
that.
it was almost like she was like talking shit with her mind. And she was trying to connect with another Polynesian at the same time to give her thoughts to another Polynesian. Like, look at this fool right here. Like, you see this shit? And it was just like, what the fuck?
She stole my seat.
Well, you walk it off.
Let's talk about that.
I wanted to talk about your amazing Alfredo, but I guess we could talk about how I stole your seat.
Stole my seat.
Well, she stole your seat and your heart.
Stole my heart first.
And your Alfredo was delicious.
It actually does look pretty damn good.
It really is. It's a really good Alfredo, and it's not like those Thought Pocket Alfredos that they
No,
use.
not the Thought Pocket Alfredos.
It's a real thing.
What is a Thought Pocket Alfredo? Please explain this shit to me.
When the bitch says she can cook.
Okay.
The bitch.
Jeez Louise. Okay, so what we talking like she got like a jar Alfredo and she just kind of poured it in.
Pretty much.
After
did.
And then she gets some and the chicken, and she don't put any spices or nothing else in it. And then she presents it like, I made my baby something to eat. We've seen all those photos on social media where they're like, I made baby something to eat. And y'all like, so you're trying to kill him?
So she probably put cyanide in it or something. She's like, ooh, this is a good seasoning.
She didn't have to. She just had to give him the actual plate. There's no cyanide needed.
Cyanide. That's what it is. Cyanide. It's like, yeah, that's some good seasoning. Let me go ahead and put that in there. Okay.
If she knew what seasons was, I would agree with you. But typically, these girls don't have a clue. They just know how to put them ramen noodle packs together.
Okay. First of all, if a girl cooks me ramen noodles, when she says she's going to cook for me, I'm sorry. We got to break up right there. I'm just going to say that right now. Here's my reason why. First of all, ramen noodles is not cooking. I could have did that shit myself.
You've never had my fried noodles.
Okay, it's one thing if you like, you get creative with it, but you just making me a pack of ramen noodles and then giving it to me in just a bowl with nothing else in it. It's like I could.
That's a done deal. Like it's over. It's over, right?
Now there's one thing. Okay, it's like I cooked the noodles, I fried it up, put some meat in there, put some veggies in there. Hook the shit up, right? Like I even put a little bit of sweet chili sauce in it and something like that.
Exactly.
Now that I can fuck with, okay? It's like, hey, it's low budget, but it works. I'm like, babe, this looks good. I'll eat it. Boom. I just realized how that could really sound. I just thought about that.
See, with that attitude, you're going to get them Alfredo girls.
Okay, first of all, I'm still trying to figure out this concept of Alfredo girls as we go on. This kind of reminds me of girls from my home city of Independence sometimes. Not all Independence girls, but there's a lot of them. But we're going to talk about that another time. You know what? Just people in the metro are just ratchet as fuck sometimes. We're just going to put that. We're just going to say the metro wide. Not just Independence, metro wide.
Do you agree with that?
Yes.
I have a prime example.
Oh, she has a prime example.
She has a prime example. What the hell is the prime example?
What I was telling you earlier.
Oh, Lord Jesus.
What were you telling him earlier?
Okay, there's a certain someone that's a prime example, apparently.
This bitch.
Oh,
yeah.
Tell him about her.
So
this bitch.
Oh boy, here we go. Yeah, yeah, Maki, I'm gonna need you to,
I'm getting there. Let me find the fucking picture. Cause this bitch.
Why you gotta be so abrasive?
Because this bitch.
She's so angry.
I'm so angry. What do you mean?
It's that Polynesian blood. I told you.
So angry.
See, that Polynesian blood is dangerous sometimes.
Bitch, what? No, see, that's that shit that I'm talking about.
So you put together black folk and Polynesians, man, you gonna get like some type of like TNT bomb or something. I love you, Maki. Made by Acme.
This is hilarious that she would even post this shit.
That's what I'm saying.
See,
okay, well, why don't
we're sitting here doing a podcast and they sitting here looking up something on social media.
No, so remember I told you this bitch stole from me.
Yes.
Is that how you referred to her?
Yes. I'm putting it politely.
Oh, so
she's a dog.
This succubus of people's souls.
No, fuck that.
Oh, okay.
That's too nice.
Oh, sorry. Okay, the Eater of Personal Worlds. She's basically Galactus from Marvel. Okay, I had to do a nerd thing. Okay, fuck you guys if you're judging me on here.
It wouldn't be Galactus. I'm sorry.
Okay, so
damn, she just called.
Basically, she's like Black Hole Chan if she were not hot. People don't know who Black Hole Chan is. Okay, first of all, it's an anime. We'll talk about it later. And for some reason, I don't know why, but for some reason, there's this thing with Black Hole Chan right now. And Black Hole Chan apparently is from this anime. I can't remember the name of it, but apparently it has something to do with planets and shit. And apparently everybody's been basically saying, you know what? Let's make a porn out of it. Let's make it erotic. Let's make it
Dude,
loose.
how much porn? How often do you?
Rule
go on
34.
Pornhub?
No, it's fucking on my freaking Instagram. I mean, yes.
Okay.
I do have my my couple day visit to Pornhub because I am single, and sometimes we gotta break out the bottle of those.
A couple of day visits.
Yeah, fuck it. You know what? Gotta make sure I empty it out. Don't come in with a loaded gun. Bang bang. That was a joke, Maki. I think I broke Maki. Maki is broken right now. She has nothing to say to that. Teri, your wife is broken. I think I broke her.
You okay? She's broken.
Yeah, I think she's broken. She doesn't know how to react right now.
And you never even finished your thought about the thought pocket.
Oh yeah. Real quick though, with Black Hole Chan, basically, people were just like, you know what? Let's make an anime out of blood cells. Everybody's like, okay, let's make a porn out of that. Let's fuck that. Okay, now it's on the Earth in a black hole. Let's have sex with that too. And that's where we come to in Rule 34.
The fuck is Rule 34?
Oh, if it exists, there's a porn. Yeah. Where did Teri go? What's wrong?
Restroom.
Oh, I thought I did something wrong. Oh. Why are you looking at me like that? Okay, first of all, I just wanted to say that. Now, back to your rant. So, what did you want to say about this individual?
Oh my god. She stole from me. I told you that.
Yes, she...
This bitch all up on social media yesterday took a picture of somebody who was on a bus stop that apparently she used to know. Or associated with. What the fuck ever. I don't give a damn. But you get what I'm saying. And this bitch gonna post up there, haha, it's funny to see you still on the bus line walking. I got a car, I got this, I got that. No, you don't. You tricking. She's a trick. She literally sleeps with men for items.
I mean, it's one thing if you're a sex worker and you're also being protected and, you know, understand.
This bitch's baby ain't no telling who the baby daddy is at all.
Oh, yeah, that's right. She is pregnant, isn't she?
Yeah, she a thought pocket to the fullest. Thought pocket of the day.
As a note, okay, here on the Delivery Bros podcast, we do not have anything against sex workers. We're actually pro-sex worker. But then there's the type that are just terrible people.
Who is?
That person you're talking about is a terrible person.
No. You said we pro-sex worker. I'm not pro-sex worker.
I am.
I'm not. Don't speak for everybody.
Okay. Well, here on this side, DeLauren will also vouch for me. We are totally pro-sex work because here's the reason why I'm pro-sex work. As long as it is not being sex trafficked or forced against their will or anything like that, and they make it into a business and make sure they get checked and everything, and also, you know, have some type of license for it, I'm all for it.
I'm not cool with that until men start doing the same goddamn thing.
Men do it.
Okay, I'm not talking about stripping.
No, men do it. There's male escorts, there's male prostitutes.
No. I'm not okay with it until these motherfuckers actually start putting it out there the way
They do, like, literally.
No. If you're gonna call a female prostitute a hoe, bitch, you a hoe too.
No,
But they do.
Yes.
Call them hoes.
Yes.
No. It's regular for men.
We're talking about the fact of, like, sex work. I'm not calling either one of them a hoe. It's a job. It's a trade.
I'm not saying you. I'm saying, nah, fuck that. I'm not pro-sex work.
I am. Because when it comes down to it, it's one of the oldest professions in the world. I mean, you go to Germany, you walk into a red light district, people are just like, nah, this is normal shit. Let's keep going. Hell, here's some history here. Boom, boom, boom. And then go on with your tour.
I don't know. I'm still a firm believer that as long as you're not messing somebody over, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, I can't morally speak on any of it. And frankly, no, didn't have a judgment for this person until after I was messed over by this person.
Now, this person right here, this is a whole different situation. This ain't about sex work. It's about her being, well, a terrible person.
She's a fucked up individual, and if I catch her on the street, allegedly, I'm gonna whoop your ass.
Allegedly.
I said allegedly, I'm gonna whoop your ass.
Okay.
I've just reiterated.
As a note, On this podcast, we do not promote violence or anything of the sort.
I promote violence when somebody fucks with your kids.
Well, when it comes down to it,
I'm sorry.
When it comes
somebody
down,
messes with the kids, I promote all the damn violence in the world.
when it comes down to it, we do not promote funk on sites.
I promote folk on site when they mess with the kids.
Well, not on the podcast anyway. So
allegedly.
So with that, we're
I
gonna.
think your name should be AKA allegedly.
Yeah, probably so.
Okay.
Maki, aka allegedly.
There's a lot of alleged things in my life, yo.
Now, I am gonna go ahead and say this to that person, if you are listening.
Fuck you. Fuck your wife. Fuck your bitch ass, hoe ass, bitch ass, stink ass. Never mind.
Okay, well, I wasn't gonna go with that, but Maki basically kind of filled the void on that one. But
I can't be nice
I am gonna say
anymore.
this. I am gonna say this to you. Realize that your actions do have consequences, and you need to reflect and repent on it. When it comes down to it, you not only affected the two individuals that are on this podcast, but you also affected children. And with that, you gotta realize karma does come back, especially after they treated you so well, and they invited you into their household. And you have definitely kind of broken a trust bond with them, and they're good people. And then on top of that, you also gotta realize, you would have did this to somebody else, who knows how the conclusion would have ended. You're lucky they're good people.
You ain't never lied.
And realize, you also have a child to take care of now. So all your actions will affect that child as well. And if you don't give a damn about the child, you need to go ahead and really think about.
You know what? Sorry, Anthony can't. Nope, that bitch don't give a fuck about a child. Okay, you pregnant? You out here trying to fight people? I wish I get pregnant today and try to scrap.
She was trying to fight somebody.
That's what caused this whole thing to go down the way that it did.
Oh,
she went and attacked somebody, a relative of ours, and decided to pull scissors on the same relative.
Talking about she gonna kill her.
Right. In a physical fight provoked by her with this other individual. So...
And then tried to play victim.
She tried to play victim. And so what I told her was that, I get it. You're young and you're dumb.
And full of cum, obviously.
Okay.
Ew.
But it's a real saying.
She's pregnant.
I mean, I know, but at the same time, the way I'm thinking of it right now is just kind of gross.
Hey, man. All things considered, she stinks like fish.
Okay. Maki, that's just too much. And
Okay.
you hurting your own character by even doing all that.
I mean, and then on top of that, I mean, I don't want to think about the fact that she's probably filled to the brim with jizz. And the fact that I had to say baby sauce, or baby gravy, or baby dough, or baby Play-Doh, baby slime. I feel like I got a couple more. I don't know. Help me out here, Terry.
I can't.
Okay. Baby Alfredo. Okay, we're good.
And now I can't eat the rest of my damn Alfredo. You know, fuck that up for me, too.
You just finished your bowl. It's empty.
There's still more in there.
Oh, dear goodness.
I said I ate a brownie.
Oh, baby batter and baby vanilla. Okay, I'm done.
Baby batter. It's a thing. But, no, I completely understand. Unfortunately, for this person, there are certain people in this world who do dumb things. They learn the wisdom. They continue on. And then there's other people that we just have to observe until the Darwin effect takes a hold.
Indeed.
And I'm not saying that I would ever wish for someone to catch a Darwin Award. I'm just saying that in the observance of her lifestyle, I feel like it's inevitable.
Maybe some people like that, sometimes they got to fall the hardest to really learn something in life.
Exactly. And that is such a... I mean, that sucks because life is short and it's hard on its own. And the only way that you can even be remotely successful is by the support that you get.
I agree.
So when you're out here burning bridges, it just... For what? For an immediate image? it's a disservice to yourself.
It really is.
Which is exactly what I was trying to tell her when all of this went down, was that, hey, you know, when you did this, when you're fighting here and you got this baby on the way and you're on probation, what did it cost you?
How old is she, by the way?
19. So
Shit.
she's like the whole life ahead. And there you go. I mean,
that's what I was talking about with this new generation.
But I can't go off of what she had to learn. I can only go off of what I learned. And what I learned is I can't be Captain Save-A-Ho.
No, you can't.
And not just referring to her, I'm just referring to the majority of my lifestyle, you know, where I felt like if I'm compelled to help, I need to be there to help.
Mm-hmm.
But being burned so many times, I'm starting to really realize and learn not everybody is in your corner like that. Not everybody is here to see you succeed.
No.
And that's why I was saying, it's sad because she's going to learn that she's burning bridges for actual support.
It's sad. I'm going to say this, like, all of us, like, at one point are probably trying to save others, but we got to learn how to save ourselves. I mean, that's where it comes down to it. Like, I can already tell you straight up, like, I've lost a lot of friends over the years. Some, my fault, I will admit it. But there were a lot of friendships that I had to let go of because of the fact I couldn't save them. All I was doing was enabling them. Enabling them not to get their lives together. Enabling them by giving them handouts. And, you know, realizing the circles that I'm participating in is taking a negative effect on me. And then when I fall, they're nowhere to be there. They're nowhere there. They're not to be, you know what I mean? They're not to be seen.
Yeah, I get you. They're invisible. They're the ones, fair weather, as they called it, right? Fair
Indeed.
weather friends.
Fair weather friends, and those are the friends that are just like seasons. They change eventually. So it's like when you get to that, I understand completely. And it's sad that I know you guys were, you know, reaching out to her, and she's a young girl. She's 19. She's really young. She probably doesn't know that there's more to life than some of the ideals that she has is bigger than clout or partying or whatever it may be. Because I was 19. We were all 19 at one point. So we all know at 19, you know, we were trying to, you know, go kick it, have fun, do wild shit. And now she's got to realize she can't just be, you know, super wild now. She's got a responsibility. Her actions will affect this child if she does not take the fact that parenthood is a very serious matter. I mean, it's unfortunate. There's a lot of babies raising babies out here.
It wouldn't even matter if there was or wasn't. I mean, not everybody who parents is meant to do that.
I mean, I agree. I mean, there are some people that should not be parents. There's a lot of people that had kids young. I mean, we're in an age where there are a lot of young people who are having children but haven't even had a life for themselves yet.
And again, I mean, I feel like society bashes too many young parents. We need to get off the stigma that age is associated with bad parenting.
Oh, no, not at all. I mean, I will say this. I feel like instead of shaming these individuals who had to have their children young, I met a lot of people who had children young. Heck, I dated somebody who had a child young. And, you know, they had to do what they had to do. It was like, it wasn't about them anymore. And reflecting on that, like, a lot of things is, instead of like, you know, helping them or giving them guidance or helping them find a way, it's more of, oh, you're just another WIC support from so-and-so or welfare mom or welfare case or you're a whore or some shit like that. I mean, really, they made a mistake. They're trying to own up to it. A lot
Made
of them
a
are.
mistake?
Okay. Well, you know what I mean. Like, you
Wait,
know.
hold
Well, okay.
up.
Maybe I worded that shit wrong now that I think about it. I'm so sorry.
No, it's okay, because you're just saying exactly what I feel like society states. I'm a young mother. I'm not a teen mom, But being that I was between the ages of 20 to 30 in that bracket, when I had my first child, it was still a nightmare. So I can't even imagine what it's like for a teen mom. Because society looks at you and they're like, oh, you made a mistake. And I'm like, hold up, I'm already married and all that. How the hell did I make a mistake? Oh, because you had your kid before 30. There are horrible complications.
Oh, yeah.
And not that I'm saying that, you can't have a kid or whatnot. You can. Women have been known to do it for many different ages, many different walks of life. It is something that happens.
Oh, yeah.
But as a society, they look at you immediately and they say you're irresponsible in some kind of way. You did something wrong. You made some mistake. You could have prevented this some way, but you didn't. And I'm like, did you tell your mother that? Like, why don't you go explain that to her real quick? Because in the end of it, we love babies. We hate to help support them. We hate to be there. But we'll tell a mother in a heartbeat she can't do anything about it. So it's like, oh, you're pregnant? Well, that was your mistake. Okay, well, let me have an abortion. No. You're a horrible person. Okay, well, then help me raise this child. No.
We don't want you, taking our government funding and shit like that. Like,
there wouldn't be a mouth to feed if you just provided. I am not a person who says that abortion is the answer. I'm a person who says education is the answer. We need to raise more self-aware children. Children who understand and don't have to find love in that type of way.
I agree. And when it comes down to it, I've always felt like a woman's body is her choice. I'm always going to stand by that because I'm not a woman. I'm not the one who bears life in me. So when it comes down to it, it will never be my decision if the future mother of my kids and I have a baby out of wedlock or not, or whatever happens. I don't know. But I do know this. All I can do is support her and what the decision is. And if she wants to raise the child, I'll be there. If she is not ready for that, I'll be there. I mean, yes. I think abortion is scary. Just for me, because of the fact, I don't know, I feel like the fact is, I don't think I could ever tell a girl to do that. And I shouldn't. I shouldn't have that voice right there. So, I prefer the kid lives, but at the same time, I understand in some cases, it's probably not the best situation to bring a child in the world. I think it's kind of one of those things where the woman should be able to solely decide it's her body. And then from there, we go from there. End of story. I am going to say this, though. On my last comment, what I meant by mistake is, like, mostly it's like they're not educated on sex or whatever, and the responsibility that's withheld. A lot of these kids aren't. People want to censor sex education in a lot of states. That's another reason why we have a lot of problems in the world, is because they're not educated. I mean, did you see the notes of what happened at Coachella?
No.
2,036% of the herpes rate went up at Coachella. Yeah.
I don't know what that means.
Basically, they're talking about hundreds of cases of herpes spread through Coachella.
What is Coachella again?
Coachella is that big music festival they have in California.
Coachella.
Yeah, up in the desert.
Yeah, okay, Coachella.
And I can tell probably a lot of these kids did not have sex education. They didn't use protection. They don't understand the consequences of not using protection. And now there's like a whole epidemic going on right now in California with this herpes crisis. It's not just California. It's in Atlanta, Georgia area. It's in a lot of major cities, especially in the black community. And that's something that we need more awareness on. We need more education on. Because it's not just about pregnancy. It's also about disease and the risk that can affect your life, because it's dangerous.
I get that, but this goes back to what I was saying about mental health, and it's still back to what I feel like about PTSD. We also don't talk about sexual assault in Black families,
Like we should.
and that would be the true epidemic, is sexual assault. I mean, that's how I feel. A lot of these people are growing up without any treatment, any awareness, any ideal about what has happened. And it's carrying on for generations. And we really don't talk about it.
No, we don't. I got family members who have been through it. And a lot of it hasn't come out until after either said family member was deceased or worse. Like, I got girls in the family that are being stigmatized for it. And then, like, they realize that they're struggling and self-medicating because they have been through this trauma. But nobody talks about it.
Absolutely. Or they sweep, or the worst yet, which is what I hear is common, and what I've experienced is common, is the sweeping of it under the rug and ignoring it. You know, well, that's just your Uncle So-and-so, and that's just what he does.
No, that's not what Uncle So-and-so needs to take his ass to fucking prison. That's what needs to fucking happen. Like, seriously, I got situations that I'm not going to even tell the story because it's not my story to tell. But there was one situation in my family that was so horrible that it disturbs me still on what the fuck happened. But I'm not going to even blast that out in the air. I'm not.
No, nor should you have to. It's one of those things where, you know, there is help, but you're not alone. There are people out there that will believe you.
Yes.
There are people out there that will listen to you. And it's the same with your mental health. You know, we're so afraid to address it, but it's okay. I myself have had to face the traumas that I've experienced, and I myself was terrified of the idea of doing so because, you know, I was afraid that it was going to affect me in a negative way, and that's not so. I don't regret whatsoever getting help. What I regretted was taking this long to find it. Because it wasn't until I finally admitted that, hey, you know what, I'm not straight. And hey, you know what, I'm not okay. And hey, you know what, I want to be. That I was finally able to say, forget what everybody else is saying. Go ahead and pray for me, but I'm going to go ahead and get help.
And, you know, that takes a lot of courage to do. There's a lot of people out here that don't have that voice or are scared to voice it out. For me, as a person who has never had that experience, and it's hard to imagine what anybody's gone through in that situation. Like, I can't put myself in your shoes on that one. So I don't understand the trauma you have been through. And I know for a fact I can say this much though. It was not your fault. I'm sick of people saying, well, you shouldn't have wore that, or you should have been here at this hour, or you should have been running over here, or you shouldn't have gotten in the car. The fact that it happened is like more than enough. When your loved one goes through something like that, they don't need to be shamed. They don't need to be argued with. They don't need more stress. What they need is somebody they can lean on in this time, in a dark time like this. They need love and care.
Which is a really great point. You say that. For those who haven't been through or directly, you know someone that has. There are ways and reasons and places and education to help you support, to help you find out, to help you even, I mean, like, there's been moments where you've questioned, like, where you've looked at someone and you said, well, maybe that person's going through this, there are ways in education out there to address them, to ask these questions. Like, you know, suicide awareness is a real thing. And there is lingo. There is help that you can seek for people who really are showing those signs to you, where you're saying, you know what, sometimes this person seems to be in a much darker place. Mm-hmm. And the idea that they're just complaining or they're just whining, it may not be that. It may be that they really are trying to ask for help. Because what the scariest thing is, it's when they stop complaining. It's when they stop crying. It's when they stop reaching out. Then they're gone.
You don't realize you deny them. You know, when it comes to the whole suicide awareness and everything, I was actually talking about this with a friend of mine earlier. So I was in California a couple years back, and actually it was about last year or something like that. I can't remember right now. And I was there because I was going to a mental health facility. It wasn't like a psych ward or nothing like that, but it was a place I felt like I could get some help. And there was this young man in there that had drug-induced skits. And he was really going through it. I had gotten close to him. Shoot, sometimes I make sure, you know, he would fall asleep because sometimes he had a hard time sleeping because he would always kind of fight to take his meds and stuff like that. I mean, he was only like 19 years old. And one day, like, I say like February, I decided to look him up. And so I was trying to look this kid up. And when I typed his name in, the first thing I find is his obituary. He killed himself like a couple weeks before Christmas. And it's just like, it still messes with me because of the fact it's just like, I treated him like he was like my little brother when I was in there. Because he felt like he didn't have anybody, and he was a good kid. And to find out that like they had a memorial for him, and I didn't know he was still so alone. And it's just like, I should have gotten contact sooner. I had to tell everybody that was in there with me what had happened. We were all crushed by it, man. Because in some weird way, we were all kind of like in different places and everything. But we kind of like, you know, made really big friendships off of it. And it's like we lost one of our own. We all came up in there. We all had different mental health issues. I got bipolar disorder. Some had schizophrenia. Some were fighting with other things. But we all stuck together. And it sucks. It really does. And I could say, yeah, this is the only person, but I've seen so many people, even that I've graduated with, go down the same path and spiral. And that's why, like, when it comes to suicide and stuff like that, I take that shit serious. Because, hell, I even tried to commit suicide once. I realized how much of a damage it affected my family, it affected my friends. But I made it out. A lot of people didn't. And that's the difference. Okay, that got kind of dark. Okay, let's pause for a second. Okay, so we're back. Yeah, so sorry it got so dark and depressing. But sincerely, I I'm kind of glad we had this talk. To be quite honest, I opened myself up and they opened themselves up, and I really appreciate y'all for doing that. And I always love having great dialogue with you guys.
Absolutely. We'll have to try more of the funny stuff, though.
Yeah, I am going to say this, though. Maki's no longer with us. She has been taken down by the wee brownie of justice. She will no longer be able to function for the rest of this podcast. Unfortunately, she is gone to be with the Lord as of May the 1st, 2019. She was a good soul. But this wee brownie has overtaken her. She has succumbed to the brownie. It may be a very long time before she wakes up. But she's going to get the best sleep ever. Because that indica is definitely something that really brings that ease, that smooth.
Oh, shit. I gotta get her upstairs somehow.
Oh, well, good luck with that. This is Anthony. I'm telling you right now. I don't think I will be here long enough for that. Oh, she's moving slow. Oh, there was a pulse. Oh, my gosh. Dang, this is like Lazarus.
She's literally trying to
She rose from the dead like Lazarus. Oh, Lord.
Come on, Maki, you can do it.
Yes, I made a Bible joke, folks.
Come on. I feel like we should be like quoting Jurassic Park right now or something. Like, come on.
She's like, fuck you guys.
Right.
I can already read her face right now.
Hey, there's never a hangover with the brownie.
Yeah, that is true. I will say this much though. She's probably digging her boogers out too.
She can't even get there.
I can already tell she be Dutch ovening y'all on the bed.
Actually, that's me.
Really?
For real.
Oh yeah.
I'm a lady. I don't do that. And then
BS. Everybody farts and takes a dump.
But that's what I'm trying to tell you. Like throughout the day, I use all my chi to hold it in, and then sometime at night,
I don't know why you do that. Just let it go.
Unconsciously, just
okay.
allow it.
In the words of Tony Braxton, let it flow, let it go, let it fly.
My Peppy used to say all the time. She's like, I'd rather let it out and be in shame than hold it in and be in pain.
In the word, like I said, let it go, let it go. La, da, 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 da. Let it go. Oh my gosh. Maki, you got anything you want to say? No?
You can do it.
Maki?
Anything?
Anything at all?
You want to go upstairs?
Are you thinking about the Babadook?
You want to go lay down?
She's thinking about the Babadook. Okay. Just watch the movie, folks. Anyway. I think is she down for the count?
You know it's a really good horror movie?
What?
One Missed Call. Not the American.
No, the Korean version is really
Thank
good.
you.
I like
Thank
the Korean
you,
version.
because the American version was
Garbage.
garbo.
It was too teen-esque.
It was so horrible.
It was like a really bad teen movie.
But you know what else is a good one?
What's one?
Ju-on.
You know, I haven't seen Ju-on. I've heard it's good, though.
Wait, did they make a One Missed Call for America?
Yes, they did. It was terrible. It was garbage.
They ruin it? Such a great movie.
They made it into kind of one of those teen thrillers. It wasn't rated R. It was rated PG-13.
You're kidding me.
Yeah, it was garbage.
That's garbo.
You know what's kind of a good horror movie? It's called Suicide Club. It's a Japanese one.
I love Suicide Club.
Oh,
Have you seen A Tale of Two Sisters?
Yes.
I loved A Tale of Two Sisters.
Have you seen the Korean Cinderella?
Yes. Did you see the Hansel and Gretel one?
Yes.
I loved it.
Damn.
I just showed Maki yesterday Kung Fu Hustle, which is like one of my favorite movies.
OMG. You have never seen Kung Fu Hustle until recently?
What?
Oh, man.
Oh, Sunday night. I showed her the Kung Fu Hustle. It's one of my favorite movies.
I love Stephen Chow movies. Oh my gosh, I've seen all of his movies.
What did you say, honey?
She said she has to pee. That's the only thing I got off of that. Why did you say that with such an accent? It's like your Polynesian accent came out. She's like dead. Down goes Fraser. Down goes Fraser. Aww.
That's how I felt last night. Yeah.
That's how I felt.
But you gotta go to the bathroom first.
For a whole day. I'm just gonna say this right now. The maker of this pharmaceutical pastry.
Good night, everybody.
Is a gift, and we're gonna talk about that another time. With that, I might actually have him on the podcast under a code name, of course, but he makes some good pastries. Damn good. Anyway, so with that, this has been another production and another broadcast. I'm just okay. Maki is going to bed. So with that, I think we're gonna go ahead and end it here. Should we?
Oh, she's waddling. She's waddling.
Dang, it's like seeing a baby's first steps. Oh, oh my God.
She's playing Frogger in the house.
Is she gonna make it to the toilet?
I don't know.
I am so concerned right now.
She's gonna bounce there, though.
Oh, she is literally bouncing off the walls.
She's so high, she's like a balloon.
Man, she's so high right now. I don't even think she's in another place. She's having an outer body experience.
She's grudging the wall right
She
now.
on fucking autopilot right now. It's like, and we're gonna go ahead and make the connection right here. We are gonna be taking about a several-hour flight, with Pot Brownie Airlines, for high times and high minds.
It
Enjoy.
fudges you before you fudge and know it.
And that is the strength of that indica pot brownie.
Yep, that should be his slogan. It fudges you before you fudge and know it.
Yeah, because right now I know she's like, what the fudge? What the hell? Oh, shit. Yeah, she's gone right now. She like gone, girl. Gone. Gone. That's a good movie.
No, I was talking about the book. You know how I am.
Well,
I'm reading.
I need to read the book. I'm going to read the book because I want to compare it. Usually the book's better than the movie.
I hear the book is way better.
Yeah, I mean, you can only fit so much in a few hours. If you're going to do... I feel like nowadays what you need to do is for, like, autobiographies or movies... I mean, for autobiographies or, like, books or something like that, just make, like, episodes of it.
I was hoping they'd do Why the Last Man, but they didn't, so...
Like, for instance, like, you know what Snoop said about the Pac movie? They should have made that into, like, a series.
That is so true.
They really should have made that into a series. I know he's
Babe,
there.
you should go upstairs.
She is literally standing over me like a shadow in the night. She's like Batman getting ready to punch my daylights out.
What are you doing?
Is she going to be okay? Right now, she doesn't know where she's at. Do you remember your name?
Mm-hmm.
She remembers her name. Good. Are you okay? No, she's not. Is she going to be fine? We don't know.
You said nobody's died from weed except for that guy who got hit by a bell.
Well, okay. That's a whole different story here. She probably isn't going to die, but she's definitely going to be faded for a while. Very faded. Is she going to be okay? I mean, right now, she's like walking like Frankenstein.
The penguin.
Oh, that's so cute. Oh, why am I talking? Man, that sounded so snooty when I did it. I was like,
Aw, Gianni's checking on her.
oh, you were like right between my legs. It was like, oh. Well, I haven't felt that in a minute. So with that, I'm gonna go have a cigarette after that, and call it a night. This has been Anthony Anthem, aka Black Fabio, aka the Midnight Marauder, aka Mr. AKA, and thank you, Teri.
Absolutely.
And with that, we out, guys, and good night.